Amazes me how you take a pile of this stuff and turn it into something pretty.
Oh, it's like anything in life. You take what you have and you turn it into something you need.
Yeah, I guess.
Besides, it keeps me busy. Hey, are you okay? You seem distracted.
No, I was just thinking about Dad.
Oh.
I just wish...
I know. But he wouldn't want us to wallow.
I know.
Besides, at least you could walk down the aisle and he won't be stepping on your dress.
Remember the look on his face when you tripped on Mrs. Olson's gnome?
You just think about George's face when he sees you.
Are you sure about this, son? Are you really sure?
As sure as gravity.
Gravity only works when there's mass.
Dad, come on. Jenny's everything I ever dreamed I'd ever have. She's more than I could have hoped for. She's smart, she's funny. Dad, she waited.
Smart and funny aren't always enough.
She's not Mom, all right? And I'm not you.
I just don't want you to...
What, make the same mistakes you did?
Why do you always do that? You take everything and turn it into a positive, especially when it comes to Dad.
Never talk negative about your spouse. Come on, come help me with the cookies.
It's not like that. I just... if you're going to do this, it should be for the right reasons.
Right's a matter of perspective. Didn't you always tell me that?
Now, don't get smart with me, George. There's right and then there's right.
Well, this is right for me. Jenny and I are like two parts of a whole. We finish each other's sentences. It's like she understands every nuance of my voice. She knows when I'm upset, when I'm angry, when I'm depressed, when I'm... whatever. I don't have to tell her, she just knows.
I just...
What?
When I put that ring on your mother's finger, I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I had no idea. I figured I could figure it out on the way. My parents were happily married for 45 years. How hard could it be, right?
You could learn a lot from your grandmother.
Mom, the world that Grams lived in doesn't exist anymore. People just aren't like that now.
You're right, they're not. Kids are getting shot in school and having sex with their teachers.
Mom.
No, you listen. Mother is speaking. I've been thinking about this for a long time. My mother gave me advice when I got married, and now it's your turn.
Okay.
When you walk down that aisle, you're starting down a path that'll change your life forever.
I know.
No, you don't know. No one knows. You don't know until you're there.
When I married your mother, I had certain expectations. Well, so did she. Turns out those expectations weren't exactly realistic.
Dad, I've heard all this before.
No, son. You haven't heard all of it.
What do you mean?
I married your mother to make my mother angry.
You did what?
Mom didn't like Terry. Was actually scared of her at one point. Thought she was too, well, controlling.
My mother controlling? No.
Well, we were rushing into things. I wanted to get married to have my life. I wanted to be in control, make my own decisions. I remember when she started walking down the aisle. I remember thinking to myself, my God, what am I doing here? There are all those people there. So many people.
You're walking down that aisle as an individual and you're coming back a team.
They said the same thing in the counseling sessions.
Look at me. They were right. There are two things that can destroy that team quicker than anything: sex and money. The lack of either will ruin a marriage.
What do you mean?
Don't ever argue about money. I can tell you right now there's not going to be enough to do everything you want to do. Just be flexible.
Here you go. Can I get you anything else?
No, thank you. Then why'd you go through with it?
Because I didn't know any better. Then we got jobs, and we had you and your sister, and things just got complicated.
What's that supposed to mean?
Now, don't get me wrong. We loved having kids. You and Leslie, we never regretted having you two, so don't get it into your head that you were unwanted.
Then what happened?
I'm not sure. Except when the stress of real life hit, we both adjusted differently. Not in the same direction.
We've discussed this.
You have?
Well, yes. Given his family history and everything George has been through, George says his mother always criticized his father. She wouldn't back him up on any of the businesses that he wanted to try.
Some women who make more money than men think they're the boss. But they're not. You're a team, and George is the captain. Let him take the lead and support him as much as you can.
Did you ever love Mom?
I thought I did. Maybe I did. I hope I did. I don't know.
So, you were unhappily married for 19 years? That happens. People drift apart. People change.
No. People in a marriage aren't supposed to change. Well, not to the point where they try and stay away from each other. Marriage is a partnership. It's never 50-50, but it's both of you working together, even if you have to work hard at it.
What are you talking about? I have to have a say.
Yes, you do. But if you always have to have your own way, then you're going to diminish George as a man. And then he'll go out and do something stupid to prove that he's a man.
You marry someone to get closer to them. You marry someone to be with them. You need to understand. If you're going to marry Jenny, it shouldn't be to make your mother angry. Now, son, I know how it is with you two right now. And you're headstrong, just like I was back then.
If he's anything like your father, every decision he makes will be motivated by the need to take care of you. Don't take that away from him. He'll resent you for it.
I've been thinking about this a long time. When this day came, you wanting to get married, I wanted to have the perfect advice.
Okay.
And yet, now that the moment is here, everything I wanted to say is just dead weight, meaningless.
Dad.
Here, this is yours now.
Dad's Bible? Why are you you giving this to me?
Because one of these days you might have questions and I won't be around to answer them.
Mom, don't talk like that.
Well, I'm not trying to be morbid or anything. Maybe I'll be on a cruise without my phone.
With Miguel the Cabana Boy.
This is your marriage.
My marriage is a cookie.
Yes. It comes out hot with lots of passion. Maybe you'll have sex every night. After you're married, of course.
Mom, please, you're corrupting chocolate chip cookies for me.
Hush. It comes out hot and gradually it cools. And if you don't do anything with it, it gets cold and crumbles. Take care of your marriage and keep it warm so it doesn't fall apart.
You should marry her because she makes you feel complete. Marry her because when she's not in the room, you can't breathe. When she's in the room, you can't breathe. Marry her because she's beautiful on the inside. Because she's genuine. Marry her because you know what's on the inside and you still can't think about life without her. Marry her because she makes you notice the sunset, the sunrise. Marry her because your very existence depends on her. Marry her because it's the only thing that will keep you alive.
Do you think you'll ever get married again?
I don't think so. I was married to a wonderful man. He loved me. He was protective. We had a very fulfilling marriage. I'm not missing out on much now, except grandkids.
Don't rush things.
Seriously, when a marriage works, unbelievable things can happen. As long as you stay focused on each other, stay positive, and remember that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah. I love her. I love her so much. I love the way she smiles at me when we see each other for the first time. I love the way her nose wrinkles at me when she's angry. I love the fact that she is genuine. I love the way she loves her family. I love the way that she loves mine. She's like a chorus of a song you can't get out of your head. At night, I'll count the stars and try to figure a way I can give them all to her. Sounds sappy, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't. But remember, even stars die out eventually.
How long have you been planning this little speech?
Since the day you were born. I always knew that someday my little girl was going to meet a man and get married and start a life of her own. And I've always made sure that she would be ready.
I'm ready.
Are you sure?
Are you really sure?